Hey guys, welcome to Copper Kettle Farms. I see we've already got people in here talking, which we love. We love seeing all of our friends. Yeah, Donald just got off his 2 weeks. Well, tomorrow is your last day, I guess, of his 2 weeks off. But you're going back only for 2 weeks, and then you're taking another 2 weeks off, right?
Yeah.
He had tons of vacation time to use up, or he was going to lose it in June. So, like, clearly at least a month, and you're taking off another week in April.
Yeah. I'm off 2 weeks. Well, I just now finished my 2 weeks. Tomorrow's my last one. I work for 2 weeks. I'm off for 2 weeks again. Then I want to say I work for another 2 weeks. Then I'm off a week. Then I work for another 3 weeks. And I'm off a week.
Yeah, that's literally how much time he's had saved up because, well, nobody likes to work. You're always doing overtime,
and that's just to get under 240 hours, so I don't lose it in June.
Yeah, then starts the normal vacation time that he's already maxed out on.
I still have. Yeah, I'm still already maxed out on vacation.
So, let's see who we got in here already. We've got Skinner Farms was in earlier in Thorhaven Farm. We got 2 quacks and 5 clucks stopped in, who we are very excited about being in here because they like to geek out with us about soil. Donald's in here. Papa Z, TJ Miller, who we love, from Big Bear. Well, that I think found us through Big Bear, I should say. Mama Z's Texas Kitchen. I did say Papa Z, right? Yeah. Brian Lowe's, making lemonade from lemons. 2 family. Hello, everybody. Hello, all my friends. It's been kind of a hectic week, I want to say. We got the electricity finished Monday. So we've been actually spending some time working in the shed, getting it set up. Donald spent a lot of time putting in these things called bafflings.
Insulation baffle.
Yeah, because we're going to get spray foam insulation, but apparently you need airflow in the ceiling. And if you don't have it, it could get moldy. Is that right?
You need airflow between the insulation and the roof.
Yeah.
So there's airflow going. But if you have vents.
Yeah, which we do.
If you don't have vents, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have vents.
Mrs. Naked Gardener, hello, Tori. So he finished that up this week. We got electricity this week. I do have heat in there now, except it was a little cold today only because I still don't have insulation in the building. It's enough to keep me mostly comfortable. Mm-hmm. Some of the days it's really nice in there. Like I think yesterday it was like 50 degrees out though. So, but yeah, the shed's working great. We're waiting to, I was thinking about hats. I'm trying to think of how many hats I've got. So I didn't have a hat on today, but so we started working in it. Donald has been, I don't know if you guys saw on our Instagram, he was like propped up in front of the heater, which is like a fake electric fireplace. Just like he was in heaven. I was on the other side of the shed working, but we were watching a movie in there last night. So it's just been really nice. I love working in there now. Like I always it's going to get really old, but I make a joke every time I walk across the driveway to get to my office. I'm like, man, traffic. Saw a chicken cross the road.
What?
When I joke about the traffic getting to work now.
Oh, I was like,
are you not paying attention?
No, I'm not.
Anyway, not so remote Alaska. Hello. So yes, that was one of our biggest accomplishments this week. We got to get hay tomorrow too. We're going to be planting some seeds tonight after the live because we meant to do that earlier. And then I apparently decided I wanted to make a video for you guys, not a channel video, although I do owe you guys some channel videos, but one that I'm going to show later this evening, which is the big announcement. It's a video about a new project we are taking on that I'm really excited about. So I went ahead and I did this like not in terms of YouTube content, but in terms of a marketing commercial, that's what I'm good at for my clients. I can make marketing video promos, but when it comes to filming, well, we only film with our cell phone anyway, but when it comes to making content videos for YouTube, that's where I'm not so good at that right yet. And then we meant to do some lives this week, but then it was like snow and then ice, and then today was all rain. So we didn't get to put out the camera for the lives. I'm going to take a drink before I choke. Anyway. Did we miss a question? We might have missed a question.
I'm answering 2Quacks right now.
Oh, okay. I'm so excited. 2Quacks is here. What else we got going on? Anything? Oh, we had a new roof put on. When was that? Wednesday. So we have a new roof now. No more water leaking into the living room from 2 floors up. I don't know how that worked. I guess it kind of like came down the wall and then went under the floor in the second.
Yeah.
Because it didn't leak in our bedroom, but it leaked underneath our bedroom. So we have a new roof. That was a big excitement thing. Oh, see, I see 2 family in here. I'm gonna shout them out real quick just for this. If you guys ever need like custom towels and things, this is one they sent us that we love. They do all kinds of print and stuff. So check out 2 family for that. They do mugs. They recently did a post where they showed some of the mugs they make, and the one for Never Enough Time was so gorgeous. I was a little jealous. Yeah, this leak went down a weird wall. And what sucked is it went down the wall, and then it found, we have a nice electrical chandelier in the dining room, and it would just trickle down that, nice little electric water mix. So I'm glad that's all over. So 2Quacks asked, Grow Your Soil, the book you said was easy to understand soil science. Is that the book?
It's Grow Your Soil. Yeah, I just answered.
Okay. Well, I know. Well,
oh, yeah. Sorry.
Since I put it up on the screen. Okay.
Yes. So, yeah, Grow Your Soil is the book that's, it more talks about the soil food web, all of it encompassing. Yeah. But also in a very easy way to understand it.
Yeah. 2Quacks says Audible has holistic management. That's the one by Savory, right?
Yeah, Savory, yeah.
Let me take this off my face real quick. So we like to buy the physical books, but Donald finds it a lot easier, I think, to listen like on his drive to and from work or if he's working. So I think from now on, we're probably going to buy both. Mm-hmm. Because I love having, I don't know if you guys are like me, I love having the physical book. I have to have the physical book. If it's something I want to keep, if it's just like a story that I'm like, all right, I'm going to try it out, I'll listen to it. But I just like having the physical book. Yeah. Donald's dirt tips.
Soil tips.
Yeah. Stop treating soil like dirt. Mianu Acres. Well, I haven't seen you guys in a while. How have you guys been? I don't think I've even seen videos from you guys in a while. That's my bad. I need to. It's hard when you follow like 1,000 people to catch up with everybody. So I apologize. I'm so glad to see you guys. I love having you guys here. And my back is killing me still. Oh, and we're getting old, and we have sore backs this week. Right. So there's that. But office is going well. Actually, while I'm working, he's watching soil videos from like Gabe Brown, these different webinars and stuff, and I'm sitting here and absorbing stuff. So I don't know if you guys have seen on our Instagram, I've been putting out these quotes from Gabe Brown, and it's just stuff that I hear while I'm working that he's listening to. And I'm like, oh, that'd make a great quote for social media. So I just pop it out in a graphic real quick and send it out. There's never enough time. Yeah, we're just talking about your mug that you guys got from 2 family, how gorgeous it was. I was jealous. I might have to get one of your mugs. I think I will get one of your mugs. If you start selling mugs, never enough time, like I'd love to get one of your mugs that 2 family made. I think that'd be cool. Who else we got? Skinner Farms is back in. I saw they were in here earlier. I don't know if I want to show the video yet. Do I want to show it this early?
Give it like 5 more minutes. I mean, we got 18 people watching. Okay.
So yeah, feel free to give that thumbs up and everything while you guys are here. About 5 more minutes, I'm going to show you guys the marketing video that I made for Donald and his new project. But so we did decide that we're going to hold off on the installation on my shed for a bit because the goats, we just need a goat barn that's better than what we've got. So we're going to go ahead and invest in that. And then I really want to get Donald started on his soil class with Gabe Brown. So I'm really excited to have him start that.
Because then it's on.
Because then it's on. And I've not done anything with my herbal class in like 2 weeks. So I got to get back on that. Just so happens we can make you one with her logo. Heck, we can make them with your logo on it. I thought I had ordered one, or I think I did like a super chat or something and then forgot to email you guys about it for our mug. I'll just have to email you guys. I keep forgetting. It's my bad. I do want a logo. A logo mug. Do you do hats? Because I want to get Donald a Copper Kettle Farms hat too. Yeah, Gabe Brown has like that. What did we say? It was kind of just like that old country boy voice. Very soothing.
Yeah.
I really liked it. How much is that class?
Which class?
The Gabe Brown class.
500.
500, which is the cheaper of the ones we found, because if you look at like Elaine Ingram, it's like at least 5,000.
Yeah, I mean, I want to do hers, but
that's gonna be a process.
The foundation course for hers is 5,000 if you pay up front. If you do the payment plan, they have a payment plan of 10 payments, and that one is $5,500. So it's $550, 10 payments of that.
Yeah.
So
it's expensive.
Yeah, very expensive. And that's just the foundation class. She has other classes that she offers that you can do to go to be a consulting and all this, but you have to take the foundation courses before you can take any of that.
Yeah.
So you're at minimum spending $5,000.
Hey, Big Bear and Robin.
Or I can do Gabe Brown's class for $500. And for what I want to do here around Gettysburg, I'm probably going to get more knowledge from him with how he's doing it than from her at first.
Yeah.
Because he also introduces it with, I mean, she's probably going to introduce more of the science part of it, but he's doing it around the practical part with crops and cover crops and big farms. And there's a lot of big farms around here that just do cover crops or just do crops.
Yeah, Pennsylvania is a mix of just massive monocrop farms and dairy farms. Like, we're one of the bigger states for dairy, which I love because that means we get all kinds of raw milk. But there's just, what did they call it? He didn't call it traditional farming because traditional farming indicates that that's the way it's always been done. Farming. Yeah, and it's not. Like, I think it more was like right around industrial agriculture is when we try to transition to massive plowing, monocrops, and industrial farming, big ag, and then it just went to shit.
You have more people asking you, where's the hat?
Oh, where's it? I know. I feel like I need a hat. Do you have a hat over there?
No, I don't have a hat. I got Court.
I can wear my Copper Kettle Farms thing. Yeah, I thought about trying to find another hat. Are you finding me a hat?
Yeah, I'm going to go get you a hat.
Okay.
Don't look at Franklin.
Don't look at Franklin. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I was getting up.
Franklin is what we call Donald's belly, by the way. Mine is called Esther. We name them. Is this a hat? Well, I wore that one last week, but I could wear it again. Well, Shayla's here this week, too. Shayla, you weren't here last week.
Don't give me some sass.
I'll give you sass. So this is the one that Shayla made for me that has the mittens in the scarf part. So it's really comfortable. And she wasn't here last week when I was showing it off and made her my shout out. So get the one Robin made. I don't have the one Robin made. Court as a hat would be thoroughly amusing. Court. It's Cart. He used to play a scarf. Like, he would sit behind my dad's shoulders when he was little, which was funny. Franklin and Esther. Yeah, Franklin and Esther. Yeah, I don't have Robin's yet, Jason. I think I'm going to send her some money for some soap, and she's going to send all of that in one package. So, are you ready to show off your video?
Oh, yeah. Let's do it.
All right, guys. So here's Oh, wait a minute. Before I do that, 𝙒𝘋𝙀 says they need a logo design for their other YouTube channel. So I did a tutorial on 2Family that was on logos. Whoops. I'm just clicking all over the place. But if you didn't want to do it yourself, yes, I could. I do that regularly. And actually, you're about to see a logo that I just created for Donald. But do y'all have ducks? We did. I'm looking over my screen here. We had, we tend to always have ducks. Actually, that's one thing we did get this week. We got some New Guinea chicks this week.
And
they were hard to get.
And Delawares.
Yeah. And so, we got some Delaware peeps, which to me, when they're peeps, they look like cotton balls. They're like big fluff balls. But we got some guineas. We went to TSC here in Gettysburg. They had like 11 guineas. Donald came home and said, do you think I should get some guineas?
They had 20 guineas.
20 guineas.
And I was like, I got plenty of time. And I came back and asked her if we should.
Only just a couple hours later.
Yeah, we went guineas. It's probably like 3 hours difference. And I went back and someone had already bought every one of them.
Yeah.
So
the next day.
So the next day.
Or was it that same day?
It was that same day. That same day, I went and called.
At least 5.
Well, Frederick, Waynesboro, Chambersburg, Hanover, Shippensburg, Westminster, and Carlisle. 7 TSC stores around us. Nobody had any except for Carlisle.
Then that's 45 minutes away. So guess what we did? We drove our happy butts to Carlisle and picked up 5 more guineas because someone around here buys them all up. I don't know who. But yes, anyway, so we got some guineas, we got some Delawares. What we're trying to do with our chickens in order to one, remember which ones are old. It's kind of hard sometimes. Is every year we're going to buy 1 breed. Although last year we did buy 3, but we know 3. Which ones we bought. Yeah. And then in 3 years, we buy that breed again and get rid of the old ones. It's just easier to maintain it as long as you have like a written record. Like 2020, we bought 𝙎𝙬𝙈𝙎𝙀. The next year, Americanas. The next year, Delawares. When we get to the next year, we know, okay, now the 𝙎𝙬𝙈𝙎𝙀 need to go because we're going to bring in a new flock. So, yes. It was Robin. You know how she is about birds. Guineas are great to have. Good for ticks and very nice for chickens and ducks. Yes, we've always had guineas. I really love having them because of the ticks. And we live in a highly wooded area. There used to be a lot of ticks here when we first moved up here, but
also Josh or Skinner Farms, for us, ducks are hard to take care of because they die so easily.
Well, they're like guineas in that both of those breeds are very dumb when it comes to going into their home at night.
Yeah.
Guineas, we tried keeping guineas in a cage for 3 months. I think we did 6 months. I think the ones we have now are up to 6 months. And then you let them out thinking, well, they know that this is their established home and that they'll go in at night. No. They're like, oh, I'll go in this tree that's exposed to everything. This is great. I love this.
And die.
And then they'll die. And ducks, the same way. You keep them in a pen for 3 months, 6 months, whatever. And then they're like, oh, look at the stream. I'm going to go play in it. And then I'm going to go find a nest somewhere and I'm going to die. So they're not like chickens in that regard. That's the only frustrating part about both ducks and guineas. But does anyone know if I can freeze chicken broth with cooked chicken in it? I wouldn't see why not. I freeze chicken broth a lot. I've never really kept cooked chicken in it, but I mean, I've frozen cooked chicken before. It might be a little dry, but you're doing it in broth, so probably not. I think if you just froze cooked chicken without anything with it, it would be a little dry, especially to like if you cooked it again. But I think if it's in the broth, you should be fine.
Go down the bottom of Skinner's. Josh, yeah.
I bought ISA Browns last year and thought about buying some more this year. Should I buy a different breed? It depends on if you can keep track of what you've got. A lot of times people will ban them. Like they'll color like blue 1 year, red 1 year. For us, it's just easier to every year buy a different breed and then call every 3 years the breed that we bought.
Also, we do different breeds specifically because Crystal wants different colored eggs.
I want to be one of those people that has natural Easter eggs all year long.
So that's why we do different breeds. That honestly is the only reason why we do different things.
It's for my yeah. It's probably silly, but I like having a rainbow of egg colors.
Yeah. So like we have 𝙎𝙊𝘾𝙄𝙊𝙄𝙍. Well, now we have Delawares. Well, we Americanas. We have speckled Sussex. We have
Copper Marans.
We have
𝙎𝙊𝘾𝙄𝙊𝙄.
French copper marins. No, we have cocoa marins.
Oh yeah.
Amber links. We have light Brahmas. We have brown Brahmas. We have
too many.
We have a lot of different breeds. We have some Merlot and Reds, black sex links. We have Barred Rocks or Plymouth Barred Rocks. We have a couple Dominiques. So yeah, we've got
two quacks said that they guided their guineas with flashlights into their coop every night, took on women. See, that would be okay if we both didn't work evenings.
Yeah, I don't get home till almost midnight.
Yeah, he works from like 2 p.m. to midnight. Now that I'm home, I probably could, as long as I remember, and if I'm not in like a meeting or something, I could, because I'm working from home now in the shed, I could probably walk out there and do it. But right now, they're all penned up anyway. But maybe with the new ones. Come on, homesteading. Come on. And Matt, I see Matt's in here. Yes, quail is something we had for a while. We didn't breed them, but I'm thinking about, I want to try them again because Nathan from Samson Farms, he pickles his quail eggs and then he just pops them like a snack. I think that would be really cool. See, Teresa's with me on this. She loves having a beautiful carton of eggs. They have 3 shades of brown and green right now. Yes.
I think we have almost every color except for
the dark browns.
Well, the French copper marins and the white.
Now I saw, and I saved this. There was a person on Instagram that was able to create a breed that made purple eggs, and it was just on a fluke. But I know it involved. It involved an 𝙒𝙒𝙄𝙇𝙀 and I think a Brahma and then something else. So I, at some point, want to try to do that same breed mixture that she did. And I'll have to find the screenshot of it. But I was obsessed because it came out violet. So my goal is to do a breed at some point where I can get violet eggs. And I'll keep you guys posted if I manage it. Let's see. Oh, we got the Naked Gardeners, Mr. Naked Gardeners in here. All right, Tori, I'm going to go ahead and do that thing if you want to run back to your computer real quick. She wanted me to let her know because she's listening while cleaning. Okay. So ping me when you're in here and I'll go ahead and start the marketing video I made because I'm pretty excited about it. We sat and did this today. Last minute, I told Donald to come over and we knocked it out. And I think it turned out pretty good.
Yeah.
It'll be good for a marketing video for this project of his. Here she is. All right, so you guys get ready. We're going to show you this cool video that I made today for this project that Donald's taking on. And this is going to be a new business that we are building for Donald. So I hope you guys like it. Here we go. Let me turn off the ticker first, though, because I don't know if that's going to lay over it. Here we go. There it was. That was our video we put together for a new company that we started called 𝙎𝙊𝘾. I think a couple people will get kind of the name behind it. I think, what's his name? Shoot, I'm having a brain freeze. Thorhaven might understand it more than most, but that is a new business that we started, 𝙎𝙊𝘾𝙋.com. We have social media links up on there. There's no site yet. There's just a landing page, but it has the new logo, which you guys saw the new logo at the end. That was the one I created in Canva.
Looks awesome.
And yeah, Donald is going to start a business doing soil consulting, going through these courses this year and establishing a presence and then actually developing an official consulting business. So I'm really excited about that. And those are the type of videos I'm good at creating. But
yeah, what do you use for that?
Just one of my many video creation tools that I use for business. I use multiple, so
I was just gonna try to plug your stuff there.
I'll just plug my business.
Like, what business?
Do you have the link ready? Are you are you competing with Misty on how to do?
I've learned not to compete with Misty on this.
So I have a digital marketing agency, and those are the type of videos I create for my clients. But yeah, so I guess there we go. There's my cool thing. I was really excited about that. So yeah, 𝙎𝙊𝘾.com _ing.com is a new business we're starting. We still got to do a couple like behind the scenes official paperwork for it, but yeah, we are good to go. The music makes you want to join up. Yeah, I was trying to think of some epic music and I was like, oh, this sounds really good. And then we're listening and we're like, all these high points of the music where it switches to a new scene, like, but there's hope. It like got real loud. And then at the end with the logo, it like hit this high note and then went silent. I was like, oh yes, epic drama. Anyway. Yeah, we thought about doing narration, but narration takes a lot longer. And I was going to do that. And I may do another version of that video with the narration, but we didn't have time. I literally put this together maybe half an hour before we came up to have dinner.
Yeah, she was literally, we're doing this tonight. Get over here.
Yeah. So I just put it together quick. Yeah, you should do some more narration. We could do like podcasts or something. That would be fun.
What?
Oh, yeah, let's do podcasts on soil.
All right.
Will you do virtual consults? Donald?
I'm sure I could. Yeah.
Yes, we will do virtual. Because I've got a Zoom subscription he could utilize for sure. And then when he does the book, there you go. TJ Miller says when you do his book, you're going to need you to read the book to them.
I'll do an Audible.
Yeah, I want to write it. I have a couple books in my queue that I want to write. It's just I could never find the time. But now that I'm like, I never go anywhere ever, maybe I'll have time.
I want to actually have it narrated by the guy that does the trailers, movie trailers.
In a land far away, there was dirt, and a hero arose.
We could bring you
from the ashes
to the future.
And from that dirt, he made soil. Always say yes and then figure it out how later. See, I do that sometimes. I actually have a client now that I'm dealing with that he's like, have you ever done this? And I'm like, no, but I'll figure it out. And he hired me to do it. So I'm like, all right, that's what I've been doing.
Wait for the next one.
Which one?
Oh, he's already said it. Matt's.
Is there premium service where Donald comes and fertilizes my land? You know, I wouldn't mind sending him over there every now and then he can fertilize your land for you.
What are you?
Keep him out of fertilizing my land here. So, yeah, we one of the things that we're going to be figuring out, and of course, I do a lot of graphic design too, as far as like print design, documents, marketing, proposals, and things like that. Is I want to make him a not a timeline. An outline of this is the process that you need to go through when you're soil consulting. So we have something to hand to people, and this is what you need to expect as a client, and this is what we're going to be doing for you, and how long it may take, and the things that you have, like a checklist they have to follow. Yeah, so I'm going to do all of that at some point too.
It's like you do this for a living or something.
I love doing this. I wish more people would pay me to do this stuff. But heck, right now, I just wish people would pay me.
Right.
I have one client that pays me consistently late. And I mean, it is what it is, I guess. People are struggling, and I try to be accommodating as much as I can. I just don't want to be taken advantage of. So there's that. Anyway, so yeah, we're going to have 2 businesses theoretically from home at some point. I don't know whether this one, how long it's going to take for this one to make enough money that Donald can work from home full time. The other concern is we have really good health insurance through his work because he works for a municipality, so it's government insurance. And how we're going to compensate for that is a question. At the very least, maybe we could combine. They do group insurance things for small businesses where if you can't afford, like Misfit, I don't have any of my employees. None of them we don't have health insurance, but none of them are full-time either. They're all contractors. So you can sign up for what's called like group insurance, where multiple businesses who can't afford it individually can afford a group plan together. So we can maybe do something like that. But that's something we'll have to think through. And actually, Gabe Brown, Donna watched a video today that blew me away. Gabe Brown, the way he has structured his succession planning for his business when he, dies off or whatever was brilliant.
The triple LLC.
Oh, this triple LLC and this family LLC plan. I'll have to like organize it into some notes, but the way he does it, it reminds me of Joel Salatin when he talked at HOA in 2019 about how they make money and how they save money by they make sure everything's written off as a business expense. His t-shirts with his name on it, like this kind of stuff. If this was on a t-shirt, this is now a uniform. So you can write that off. So understanding the business aspects of it, and that's something I geek out on. So I'm going to do a lot of that, and maybe I'll actually write some books on saving money as a business by doing that. We'll see.
What? Yeah, I do remember he did that. Every year he worked, he got 5% of the company.
Yeah. So yeah, one of the things that they did is Gabe Brown has a son and a daughter. The daughter doesn't really want to be that involved, or didn't want to be that involved with everything. So what he did was his son has 60% of the marketing company, and then he and his wife have 20 and 20. So they have 40%. Once the daughter decided she wanted to be part of this enterprise as it started to grow, Gabe decided to give the 40% he and his wife had to her, but under the stipulation that if you decide you don't want it anymore, that your brother has first right. So it doesn't matter whether they, how siblings, they'll fight and sometimes they won't talk ever again. And no matter what happens between the siblings, the brother gets first rights. And I love that he did that for them. So they didn't have to think about that. But the other thing that Donna was talking about is Gabe Brown structured his farm, the farm part of his business, so that rather than if they pass, it goes to his son right away, that his son has to work it for 20 years and he gets 5% every year he works it until he owns it out full. And that way he's put in the work. He knows how the company works and is structured, and he knows that this is what he wants to do. So I thought that was a really interesting way to do it too, to keep it in the family. So I was geeking out on the business aspect of it. We'll have to share the video sometime of when Gabe Brown's talking about how he structured his farm. All right, let me catch up on comments. Big Bear says he wants Morgan Freeman to do his book. Which one? Your predator control book? Because that would be awesome. I could see, who should do, all right, here's who should do Big Bear's book on predator control, is that guy that does the Discovery channels with the animals and it's in like an Australian accent. So it's like, and then the viper comes out of the fray or something like that. That's who should do Big Bear's book. Cause I would like maybe like a Steve Irwin style voice. Let's see.
What is that guy?
James Earl Jones is one of my favorites, but I've always had, let's you've got the Star Wars voice, but I love him from Conan because that's my favorite movie. But he's got that iconic voice too that I really love. Skinner Farms, that's something I need to learn more about, is the business side of the farm for taxes. Well, that's something, yeah, and that's something that I actually might dive into as far as like educational purposes, because one, I used to be a tax preparer. I also used to be a financial blogger, and my aunt is actually a tax preparer, and she's given me a lot of tax advice for, like, for one, the shed. The way I've structured the shed is I'm paying Copper Kettle Farms rent, but Copper Kettle Farms is me. I could pay myself because rental, where are you going?
I'm answering a question.
Oh, so rental cost is not taxed the same way as everything else. So I could either pay myself or pay Copper Kettle Farms, but regardless, the money I was paying when I had an office space downtown, I'm paying to myself, so I can write it off for taxes for Misfit. But I still get the money, and I can put it into the farm. So that's one thing that I'm doing to kind of save money and stuff like that, and still have a loss as a business that I can write off in a tax. But oh, okay. So this is what Donald's doing right now. Skinner asked, "Can you send me the names of the books that are on business, farm business stuff?" So he's grabbing them off the shelf real quick. So book number 1 is, these are the books he bought me because he knew I would geek out on this. This is the Farm to Market Handbook, How to Create a Profitable Business from Your Small Farm. It is by Janet Hurst. There we go. So that's one. I have not read this one yet, but
I looked at it. It has a couple. I think that's one that has a couple of the forms that you need for like farm stuff.
TJ would like Samuel L. Jackson narrate his life story. See, the other one is the Organic Farmer's Business Handbook. That one's by Richard Wiswall. So that's another business handbook. Complete Guide to Managing Finances, Crops, and Staff. So that would be a good one. Starting and Running Your Own Small Farm Business. This one is by Sarah Beth Aubrey. Sorry about the glare on that one.
I think this is the one that has the stats. Yeah,
Doesn't Joel Salatin have a book too?
I think so. Well, I think his is a little outdated.
Yeah. And then The Farmer's Office by Julia Shanks. Tools, tips, and templates. So if you needed to create, I think she's got like business plan templates and stuff in here. That would be useful.
Mm-hmm.
But, maybe this is something I'll eventually write at some point too. But those are the 4 books that Donald picked up. But I think Joel Salatin had a book too that was pretty interesting regarding business. What did Big Bear say? Phone call be rigged back.
I think it's
phone call be right back.
Yeah.
Okay. I got you. I understood it. Do you play Criminality? No. The only game, we play 3 games right now. Dungeons and Dragons. I play Among Us. And then, what's the third? Oh, I Mud. Those are the only 3 games we have time for right now. And I don't even really play them that much. Just Dungeons and Dragons once a week, I think, is the main one. I don't know who I would want to narrate my life story. What's a female iconic voice out there? Maybe Helen Mirren.
I was about to say her or Maggie Smith.
Yeah, she would do a cool voice. I'm trying to think of what other women have just those iconic voices. What about that chick that used to play M in like Goldeneye?
Oh,
wasn't she a dame or something? You guys know who I'm talking about? Amongst Us. Oh, we got a spam going on here. All right. Oh, Betty White would be fun too. Grab them.
It's going too fast.
I do like Among Us. It's fun. I haven't played it in a while, but.
Oh. Wrong one.
Did you do the wrong person?
Yeah.
Counter that. I wonder if he plays Counter-Strike. I played Counter-Strike a lot. I used to piss off a lot of guys though, because my my screen name was owned by a girl on Counter-Strike, but it was Counter-Strike Source that came with Half-Life 2. Really enjoyed both of those. Donald and I played Call of Duty a lot for a while, right? Donald's way better at it than I am. Hey, Stacy from Yellow Rose Homestead. You missed our marketing video. Olivia 𝙒𝘼𝙔𝙎? Do I know that name? I don't know that name. Yeah, there's not as many, like, I mean, there are iconic female voices out there, but they're not in the same, they don't seem to be on the same level that we imagine, like Samuel L. Jackson, Morgan Freeman, James Earl Jones.
Yeah, I don't recognize her.
Yeah, I can't think of any. Romeo and Juliet. Like one of the originals. I remember seeing Romeo and Juliet in high school. But I don't remember who was in it because there's so many. Hey, Fishes and Loaves Life and Naturally NC Delicious. Why do we have not have more female iconic voices?
I don't know.
Stacy Messier, I would love to be the narrator for my book. I love her voice. She cracks me up. Fishes and Loaves says, hi, Mr. Poops.
Hey.
Wasn't that Dwight's nickname on The Office for that one episode? Mr. Poops. Dwight Schrute. So, as far as what we got going on next week, I don't know. Donald's going back to work. I'm going to be working from home. I have to get a booster installed for the shed because I get limited internet there, but I can't get the booster working because they say, when I spoke to support, they're like, well, you might have a different internet that doesn't work on this booster. And I'm like, it's internet. Just fix it. Did you get your marker to sing for you? I did not. We're still kind of avoiding singing until we get monetized in case we get copyright on our hours. So my issue is I haven't made time. And again, to be fair, we have been doing a lot of extra work around here to get that shed ready. So I had to be out of the office by March 1st. I turned in my keys on Thursday. We had to move all my furniture out. We had to make sure that the shed had electricity and at least heat so I could work in there. So, I mean, that took up a lot of our time the last 2 weeks. However, now that that's done, I mean, things are still going to be a little chaotic, but at least I'll have dedicated time in there that I can start putting out videos. I've got footage. I've done footage this whole process of the shed delivery even. So I need to just sit down and put videos together. How much do I need? That is a good question. Let me see if I can get you an answer to that question really quick. Last I checked, it was like 800, but that don't mean nothing.
That don't mean no thing.
We will probably go live tomorrow throughout the day with the goat cam again. So if you feel like being on tomorrow while the goats are out there being goats and being cute. Oh, I just logged into the wrong YouTube. Figures. Then definitely hop in, and even just if you want to just let it sit for a while the goats are being cute, then you could do that. Let me get you the exact hours that we need. It's probably like around 800, but we'll see. All right, so studio. Let's go, studio. Let's go. And we're almost at 11,000 subs, which is kind of cool. All right, so we need 900. So yeah, 900 watch hours, and we'll be at 4,000. So we're close. I mean, that's really close.
Mm-hmm.
We'll run the lives, and I may leave them. Honestly, now that I'm working from home, this is awkward. Sorry, while I'm trying to do this. I can leave the goat cam on when it's a nice sunny day. You guys can watch throughout the week because I'll be here. issue before is we couldn't leave it on while we were both at the office in case it rained or something. But now that I'll be here,
Or the wind.
or the wind knocks it down a lot. Then I should be able to do that for you guys. So there's that. Oh, and we have a cool event that will be coming up. We're not going to announce specifics, but it's going to be a game night on here.
Oh, right.
About soil. So I'm going to challenge Skinner Farms and 2 quacks, or 3. How many quacks is it?
It's 2 quacks.
2 quacks to be here for that night, because it's going to be a lot of fun. And we actually may do a 10,000 follower giveaway as part of that. I just don't know what to give away, to be honest. Like, I might just do like $50 Visa gift card or something. Everybody needs gas money right now, so might as well. So I'll announce when we do the game night. That'll be our 10,000 follower giveaway. We may do another giveaway on social media that we're going to incorporate our friends in to help everybody out that's in this kind of friend circle. And I'm happy to include other people, other channels in this as well. But just do like a 2021 big, many channel wide giveaway as well. So we'll see how that goes. I got to talk to people about that first before I knock that out. And I have another project that's coming up that I know Big Bear Robin is heavily involved in with me. And I think Teresa from Stringfield is still involved in it with me. I have to check in because it's been a while since we discussed it. But I do have another big announcement that will be coming up. I just don't want to announce it yet because I still have a few more things to set up for it. But I'm really looking forward to that too. Let's see. Yeah, Misty has not had her surgery yet. She is here, but she's just battling it. She showed a picture of what kidney stones look like on her Facebook, and I was like, ew. It looks like the asteroid from Armageddon. Like just cracked, like sharp edges, and yeah. Queen Boudica Radiant says, I like that Girls Farm channel who's in Nebraska, I think. Don't remember her channel name right now. Nebraska, I'm trying to think. I can't think of one in Nebraska. There's so many channels I like. I've been really digging a lot of these cottagecore style channels lately, so that's where I'm obsessed with right now. 396 subs, hope to hit 1,000 by the end of the year. That would be awesome, and I'd be more than happy to help you with that as much as I'm able. All right, so many things happening. Does that mean that other project of mine? Yeah. Well, that's not the only other project. That's the only other project relating to homesteading. I have another YouTube channel that I'm about to start as well, doing website and social media audits. So that'll be another project. That's called the Web Analysis Project. I have to set up the website for that. I've already set up templates and report cards for people for their website. So if you know someone that wants to have their website audited or their social media presence audited, I'm about to start a channel for that. And I want to start getting Misfits channel out more, where I talk about new things coming up in social media. I'm watching you as you do this.
What? I'm not doing anything.
So many things happening even more. TJ Miller says they passed 3 stones in 1 year. Oh, no. No. That's, ow. I had a kidney infection once, which is probably the worst pain I've ever had. What is a social media audit? Social media audit basically has me go through all of your social media posts. Theoretically, and I have to figure out the logistics of this, I would have access, just editor access or analytic access to your social media account. So you retain administrative rights to everything. But it allows me to run an audit report over the last month or 3. Figure out what was working for you, what wasn't working for you, and I tell you what kind of posts you're making that are good and what are bad, and just basically me educating people on how to do this stuff and trying to build a channel around it. I mean, I feel like it would work. We need more auditors. Well, I used to do you guys remember like the early 2000s? I started my very first blog in 2001. I actually started a week before 9/11. And it's right when blogs started becoming a thing. It was more of like a hipster journaling type thing. I was around 20, 21. and it really took off. Everybody was making these artsy fartsy blogs and stuff. And there was a website that came out called reviewme.net or something like that. And I was one of the people that ran it, that we would audit people's websites. What worked? Was it easy to find what we needed to find? How was your content? Things like that. So it's not a new concept, but it's not here. Here's a concept that Gary Vaynerchuk always, and it sits with me. It's something he always says when he's talking about marketing. He's like, don't ask me to sign a non-disclosure agreement on your idea, because it's not your idea. How does he put it? Your idea is crap until you execute it better than everybody else that has that same freaking idea. Now, he uses a lot of expletives there, but the concept rings true. Like, there's so many people that have the same ideas that we're doing, you know, videos on marketing, videos on farming. How many homestead channels are there right now? It's not about who has the idea. It's about who executes it the best, who markets it the best. So I had a conversation with a friend not too long ago. They were talking about a book that they've been wanting to write, and someone else wrote the book, a book similar to it. And they were kind of like, you know, I wish I would have gotten my book out first. But I told them, don't worry about that book, because I don't even know who that person is. If you write a book and you market it and you get it out there better than that person does, your book's going to do better. So what are you saying? I'm lucky to have Crystal, who loves doing it and is phenomenal at it. Are you talking about marketing or social media?
I responded to Skinner's question.
Oh, social media. Yeah, Donald doesn't do really any of the social media for Copper Kettle. That's usually me. Actually, I don't think you do any of the social media for Copper Kettle. That's all me.
Yeah, that's all you.
See if I can poke at the misfit. Let's see, what else am I missing? Fisher says, I need social media die on Facebook. I'm not sure what that means. And insta and resurrect after all the weirdness is there. Yeah, that's the thing about Facebook, is everybody's so political there. And I get it. Like, people just, it's like an avenue for people to rant and get that off their chest. One of the reasons why I moved to Instagram is you don't see a lot of that there. And I specifically had a friend on Facebook that, I'm still friends with them. I just hid their posts because it was just nonstop, like almost just a violent posting on politics. I was like, dude, I can't wake up to this every morning. It ruins my day. So I hid him. And then he wanted a friend on Instagram. I'm like, yes, let's be friends on Instagram. You have to post pretty pictures and you can't post politics. And then he went and took a screenshot of his Facebook political posts and put them on Instagram. And I was like, oh, no. So I unfollowed him on Instagram. I'm like, sorry, bro. It's not like one book ends the markets for books of that type. Exactly, Daniel. You are right on the money there. Let's see. What else am I talking about? Sean says, I just deleted and hit all the political garbage myself. Yeah. Yeah, I've been hiding people that are just nonstop political. I mean, I don't mind it now and then. I know people are going to talk politics, but if it's nonstop, sadly, I have an aunt that I got into it, what was it, a month ago?
Yeah.
And I mean, she got downright ignorant about it. And I basically unfollowed her because I didn't want to see it anymore. But I also didn't want her to see my stuff because she kept commenting on my stuff. So I have her in a group, and all my posts on Facebook now only post to people that aren't in that group. If you're in that group, you don't see it. And I do have a couple people in that group. So I'm like, I can't, like, I don't want to unfriend you because I feel like you're going to take that personally, but I also don't want to see your stuff and I don't want you to see my stuff. So it's an awkward situation, but you know, we live in an awkward time. So, well, and Mama Z says, well, I block folks. And I honestly, I normally don't care and I would block people, but I know that this particular aunt would, well, one, she would notice and flip her lid, which honestly I don't care about. But her whole thing is, if I block her, she's going to be like, well, you're the one that made politics personal and decided to block me over. Like, that's her mentality. And I'm like, I don't even want to give her that satisfaction at this point. So anyway, enough about that. Yeah, I don't do any politics on Facebook at all. None. And or Instagram or LinkedIn. I've been seeing it a lot more on LinkedIn too, which is pissing me off. There's only one platform I'm political on, and I don't involve that with my channel at all, so I'm not even going to bother talking about it here. So there you go.
You know what I think we should do?
What?
Because we had people come in late.
You want to do the video again?
We should do the video again.
Do you guys want to see the video again? The marketing video for Donald's new project? Yeah, and honestly, I love having people of different political views because it helps me to regularly reevaluate my decisions about things. I don't want an echo chamber. I don't want just people that believe the same way that I do, because then I would never grow as a person, because there's nothing to challenge my views, and there's nothing to make me rethink my views, and there's nothing to present a new perspective of my views. If I only have people that think the way I do, I'm not going to grow. It just levels it off right there. And as great as I think I am, I don't want to limit myself. I could be greater. So, the Everett Gardner.
So I got a lot of people saying, yes, do it.
Okay, we'll show you guys the video again. This is a marketing video again that I made. This is the type of videos that I make as Misfit for my clients, but I made one for Donald today for this new project that we announced earlier, and I'm going to announce again, that we're really, really excited about for a potential business for Donald in the future. So we're going to run that really quick, and let me know what you guys think. Here we go. Ta-da!
Gives me goosebumps.
Gives you goosebumps?
Every time.
So there you go. All right. I guess, did I miss any other comments? I don't think so. So we're about to hit the end of our stream. We do 1 hour streams every Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern. And one of the things we like to do, and now that we're trying to be more official about this, and again, I will be putting out videos this week. I've got tons of footage I just got to get through. And now that I have a dedicated space to do that, I'm going to crank it out. However, I do want to give a shout out to a channel each week. And our channel this week that we are giving a shout out to is Big Bear Homestead. Yay! Because they have been doing some really awesome things on their property, and they just got a new puppy. And they're really good friends of ours, and Robin's making me a cool hat and things. So channel shout out to Big Bear Homestead. If you do not follow them, please do, and check them out, because anything you want to know about homesteading, you're going to learn on Big Bear. They're literally the oldest homesteading channel on YouTube, hands down. So if you don't know how to do it, I'm sure they got a video on it. I learn all the time. I'm like, man, what was the other day? We broke a shovel handle.
The pitchfork, yeah.
Or a pitchfork handle. And we're like, it was one of those ones that was what was a peg? It wasn't screwed in. We couldn't.
The rivets.
The rivets. And we're like, well, we can't replace that. And so we went out and bought another one. And Jason's like, by the way, I have a video on how to do that. And I was like, oh, I should have checked your channel first. I see Kat from Wolf's Head Forge and Farm is here.
But we're going to fix the old one.
Yes, and I will have two, because we will fix the old one. Garden State Gardener is here. Hello, hello, welcome. And yes, Mama Z posted the link. That is our channel, Big Bear Homestead. That is our shout out for this week. And we have 1 more minute. So any last questions? Feel free to ask. Pick Donald's brain on soil. Pick my brain on herbs or marketing. It don't matter. They're great. One of the first few channels I found. I'm trying to remember. I want to say Justin Rose was our first channel, but why are there 223 people in here?
I'm not asking.
I mean, hello, 223 people. Feel free to give us a thumbs up.
Right? Yeah, I think Justin Rose was the first one I found simply because I was looking up how to work with chickens.
Yes.
And one of his videos was the first ones I saw.
Yeah.
And then it just went from there. I think it was his video, and then Roots and Refuge was the other video we saw, because we were talking about how to make money off a homestead. I think that was that video.
With Roots and Refuge. Yeah. She did a video on how to make money on the homestead. And I sat and I watched that video like 3 times, wrote down all of her tips and everything. And that's something that, obviously we want to do. We're a smaller
enterprise.
We're a smaller farm. We're like over 1.25 acres, but we're not going to do the same things that some of these 20, 100, 1,000-acre farms are going to do. But there's a niche for that. There's a lot of people out there that can only do these smaller things. So we felt like we'd had something to offer that. Two Family asked, whoops, wrong link. Did you get a chance to look at what I inquired about? I don't remember what you inquired about, but remind me after this, because we're going to be up till midnight at least. So you'll have time to ping me about that. Fishes in Life, do you keep your personal completely separate from your channel, Crystal? Depends. The homesteading channel, we do allow a lot of personal view into our lives. I'm very personal on Facebook. So you get a lot of insight into what's going on in our lives, especially on my personal Facebook. Politics, we don't do here. Religion, we don't do here. Because there's no point. Like, I don't need to involve that into my homestead. And I like to support people of all different views, whether it's political or religious affiliation or whatever. So, yeah, I have no idea what's going on here. I don't know if I'm about to get raided or what, but we'll see. We're about to end it anyway.
Without struggling.
Wolves had asked, do you suggest on breaking down bedding from the goat house? It's in a pile, but I don't think it's going to compost properly. We're actually dealing with that kind of right now, right?
What is it?
So in the winter, we're letting it deep bed because it's colder. In the summer, what we're doing is we tend to take all the goat bedding and flip it over into the chicken pen and let the chickens compost that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you still plan to do that this year.
I still plan on doing that. Now, I will say this right here. That is a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
It is a lot.
Because you want to rotate that every week.
Yep. A lot of scooping and shoveling. And if you have I think the most piles I had at one time going was 7.
And if you're old and fat like us.
So it's a good workout.
Yeah.
But you're having to take one, move it over, take the next one, move it over, take the next one, move it over. And you're doing that 7 times.
Yeah. And
it's a lot of work.
If you have 2 people, it's easier, but it's still a lot of work to flip 7 piles once a week and then create, then eventually take that 8th or 7th or 8th pile and move it to wherever you're building up your compost. But we use chickens to break up the bedding that we get from the goats. That said, if you've got too much and you don't have enough chickens, then honestly, I would probably try to hot compost it.
Yeah, then that right there is just putting a big pile, and you want to make sure there's enough. You can do it by smell, or just really looking at it.
Yeah, you shouldn't smell your compost.
Yeah, if you can smell it, you need to add more carbon sources or more wood. Anything that has hay, straw.
Yeah.
The
dry stuff.
Dried hay.
The brown stuff.
Yeah, brown stuffs. If it's too hot, if it.
Job says we're not old. Thank you, Job.
Thank you. If it gets too hot, that means you don't have enough. I just went blank. I think it's nitrogen, but I think nitrogen, too much nitrogen. Anyway, you want to constantly turn it though.
Yeah.
You don't want to get too hot because then you're going to kill all the organisms.
It is a lot of work. It's a lot of work, but at the same time, we're realizing as we get older and fatter, that we like having physical work on the farm because it's going to, it's consistent. Mm-hmm. You have to do it. You can't say, well, I don't want to do this and then not do it. When our main source of heat in the house is wood. So we physically chop wood every year. Dad did most of it last year, but he does it and it keeps you in shape. So it's kind of like what Justin Rhodes calls Earth's gym, but it's a farm workout. You know, you have to shovel, you have to cut. I mean, there's just all kinds of like physical things that you can do to stay in shape. And I think that's, as farmers, that's what we need to do. So
yeah.
You don't want it to catch fire, but you also don't want it cold. Yes. Hey, Crystal Vlogs and more Simmons.
And I just want to also comment. You'll hear people say, well, you can just let it sit in the corner and it'll break down over time. And that's true. It will break down over time.
But it could break down with parasites and stuff in it, right?
But it's breaking down anaerobically, so it's not getting any air. And a lot of times, so it's not a hot compost, that's called a cold compost. And it's breaking down with acid. So there's a couple things that'll happen. One, you'll have more methane be released. It's not, I mean, if it's just a small pile, it's not really that big of an issue, but you're also gonna, it could get smelly. So you can get a lot of hydrogen sulfide releasing in it. And you're also going, it's the anaerobic is the environment that pathogens and weeds like to grow in. So to prevent all of that, it has to do some work, but you want a hot compost because the good bugs like air, like they like aerobic. And the hotter it gets to 140, 45, the more active they get, which means the more they multiply and the faster it'll break down. So if it gets to your 140, 145 degrees and it starts dropping in temperature, you want to turn it again to put more of the carbon in the middle to build that heat back up. And then it drops back down, you want to turn it. It's like every 3 or 4 days you have to turn it for that.
TJ Miller has a friend who composts an old cement mixture. That's funny. And it works. I mean, as long as it's rotating. And that's the thing. Like, I like the idea that you guys have of the hydraulic spatula, but it's not aerating it. It's just kind of turning it. So you kind of, the pitchfork, you're at least getting air and stuff in there. So
I like drops.
What drops say?
Neighbor asked me why
don't you buy a riding mower and mow the lawn instead of the push mower to make the exercise? And that's the thing. There's some book I read. I don't remember. It was like, it was one of those books like Getting Things Done. One of those really popular motivating books or business books or something. And one of the things they were talking about is people spend money to buy a riding lawnmower to mow their lawn. And then we spend money to go to the gym, when we could save money on both of those things and mow the lawn by hand. And it made a lot of sense to me. It's like, why are we investing all of this money and all this equipment to make things easier? But then we spend all this money to do either a gym membership or to, what was that one gym in that warehouse downtown?
CrossFit.
The CrossFit gym's like $80 a month. And what can you do with $80 a month, or the fuel or the money that you need to buy a lawnmower?
Oh, and Drops apparently doesn't even have the motor. It's the actual old school.
The one we got out back. Yeah. I want to get another one of those. Now, one of the things we want to do is we don't really want to have a lawn. Like, okay, you have 1.25 acres to work with to try to provide as much food and sustainability for yourself. But you got these people that half of it's just grass. What are you going to do with grass? So we have one little section of grass we want to keep just as an outdoor workout area, because we have like the battle ropes that you swing. We have, what are those cables what are those called?
I think it's just called suspension work.
Suspension work. And then like some curls and stuff like that. So we have that equipment that we're planning to keep in this one grassy area, but the rest of it, I mean, it should be either food or a way to provide for, like, our meat chickens. We rotate them around every day. We move their cage so that they can eat bugs and they can eat things in the grass or eat grass and, you know, utilize the land that you got. And that's our goal. That's the goal of Copper Kettle Farms, is to see how much can we actually utilize 1.25 acres for food or to support our animals. I think I have knit fuzz in my mouth. Sorry. Geez, that's so much to think about. Open up a food truck. You know, I love the idea of food trucks. I think they are fantastic.
And I'm going to say this, because this off that video with Gabe Brown, he actually made a good point. They were looking at getting a commercial kitchen on their farm for something.
Right.
But it was so much more hassle to get that then they would have to get a food truck. But a food truck is also considered as a commercial kitchen.
Really?
That's what he was saying in his video. So he was saying it was easier to get a food truck as a commercial kitchen than it was to get an actual commercial kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I gotta put up. Skinner's asking me a question.
On his last question, though, yeah.
TJ
Miller says, "I won't go to the gym, so I don't spend money on it." Yeah.
Yeah, I meant to answer his question, but we got the rambling. You got me monologuing.
Yeah, we have a couple books, Naturally NC, on body weights, and we have some weights here that we use. And actually, we should do a workout tonight before we go to bed. Take care, Stacy. Thank you for stopping by. But yeah, one of the things that I really want to focus on this year is one, doing like, and I've actually lost some weight this week. I think I've lost like 5 pounds in the last 2 weeks, just because we're not eating out as much. We're doing all this work around the house. I'm like, this is what I need. I need to be able to be home, work out, maintain the property in the way that it needs to be. That's physical. And then once the garden gets in, like, try to establish our menu around the garden. You know, we've got rabbit meat that we raise and we butcher and we store. We've got chickens that we raise and we butcher and we store. I want to get a deer and fill up a freezer. I want to buy like a quarter cow.
I'm gonna get a freezer like Skinner's. That was nice.
The only thing that I can't figure out how we don't really use a lot of grain, but if I needed to get grain, I would just buy grain. We still have a bunch of stored up right now anyway, but cheese, we don't really have a milk source for that kind of stuff. And we do like cheese. So, I mean, I want to try to eat as in season and off the land as possible because it's just healthier. I mean, it's fruits and vegetables and meat. So that's the paleo diet right there. You add in some fermented dairy and then you've got the primal diet. So that's what we like. Anyway.
All right.
Wow, we're up to 255.
Let me answer this question.
Sorry.
Where'd it go? All right, so how is mixing rabbit and old cow and pig mixed with new chicken manure going to do?
I probably wouldn't mix the rabbit in there. I mean, you could, but the rabbit is a slow release. It's not hot like chicken.
Yeah, so it's not a hot manure. The rabbit manure is not.
Yeah.
I
see it, Gomez.
If you're mixing it together with just that, I would mix it with some kind of carbon source and put it in and compost it. Because that's a lot of nitrogen that you don't want to just put on a field. Because I'm trying to figure out, there's a what do you call it? There's a soil test.
Goat is not hot, TJ.
Yeah, I think actually goat is, I think, 99% dead almost. Which is why goats are really good at clearing brush, because the seeds go through their stomachs and ferment so well and get broken down. It's not like a chicken, where a chicken will eat a tomato and poop somewhere and there's a tomato growing. Goats their seeds are like, or their manure is like 99% seedless.
Do you remember the lettuce we had where we had the meat chickens? We had meat chickens in this one area and we moved them. And this was like in October. We started getting tomato plants coming up. And then we started getting lettuce plants. I'm like, I guess we got poop tomatoes and poop lettuce now. So
yeah, Josh, the mixing in the straw and the oat hay, pine chips, etc. Yeah, as long as you mix it in there together, to, I would say, a ratio of 2 to 1. Two of the carbon to 1 of the nitrogen, 1 of the manures, to balance it out. That should be fine. Naturally
NC said goats, sweet potatoes love goat manure. That's good to know. Naturally NC is like the sweet potato queen.
And where's Wolfhead?
Wolfhead is in Kentucky.
I mean, like, where are they here? Because they should be answering the goat one.
Oh, I don't know. They could still be here. But 310, I just don't get it.
But there is there's a soil test that I want to find that Gabe Brown does specifically, because 95% of soil tests don't actually tell you what you have in your soil together. because you have inorganic and organic, and they only show you inorganic, and then they recommend you buying all this stuff based off of that inorganic when you could have it covered with the organic. It's just not available yet. You have to figure out how to get that available to the plants, which is biology. You need microbes to get that available. So instead of buying your inputs, you could just grow the microbes that give you the inputs.
Kat is here, by the way. She says,
Okay.
What electric fence do you guys use? I'd like to rotate my goats in the forest. We just use the Premier One fencing right now. As Nigerian dwarfs, we've never had an issue with them jumping the fence. If you have bigger goats, I think yours are all Nigerian dwarf, if I remember right, Kat. And yours are so cute. I just love them. So we've never had issues with them jumping the fence. As long as we have enough of a hit with the electricity, then they do fine. The issue with being in the forest, though, is then you're battling with all the little weeds and stuff to get it around and not grounding out. So I guess it depends.
Well, real quick on that, I don't know if anybody knows who Greg Judy is. If you don't know who Greg Judy is, highly recommend looking him up. He does.
I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, he does perimeter fencing, electric fencing. I don't think he does goats, but he does sheep and cattle. But he suggests if you're going to do perimeter fencing or electric fencing for your perimeter fencing, you have to have something that shocks hard.
Because it burns that grass.
Because that way the grass will get up on it and it burns it down, and he never has a grounding issue.
Yeah. Ours just doesn't hit that strong. So, and I'd feel bad if it hit my goats that strong, to be honest.
Well, all I know is Leia sounded like a grown man crying when she got hit.
Did she?
When the first time.
So Hempstead guy, or 1976, asked about our announcement. I don't know if you want to play the video again though, but
I'm all about playing the video game. Yeah, Kat. Yeah, love Greg Judy. Yeah, Greg Judy is awesome.
So I might play the video game that has the announcement in it to end things out. I keep wanting to
keep going.
end the live because I feel like I'm taking up people's time, but we've got all these 251 views right now. So I don't know.
I say we keep going.
We'll play it one more time.
We ride this mountain.
For people that did not get to see it, of the new announcement of this new business that Donald is going to be starting. And it also has the new logo in it and everything. So we'll play it one more time. It's short. It's like a minute and a few
6
seconds.
Yeah.
So here you guys go. So there you guys go. That's our fun little announcement of this new business that Donald is starting.
Goosebumps every time.
It's your video. See you, Kat. Thank you for staying, hanging out with us. So is the channel up yet for his soil stuff? Or are you talking about us? I guess I need to verify which one she's talking about. If you want, you're not holding anybody's gun. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we understand that, but I feel bad for our moderators, I guess. Thank you, Popo Filippo. Appreciate that.
Wait, what did I miss?
What? For two family?
Yeah.
They're talking about older homesteaders. Oh, they're talking about the septic tank, watering down the fields and stuff.
Oh, hold on. Yeah. I missed that one.
D asks, how's this going to work, Donald? Your business.
How is it gonna work?
Explain, please.
It's basically you will pay me money, and I will tell you how to grow your soil.
That's like the very bare bones basics. So soil consulting, yes. Donald's taking some of the courses. Elaine Ingram's course he'll be taking. He's about to start Gabe Brown's course. He wants to become a certified soil consultant.
Yes.
And yeah. And he has the background in wastewater, dealing with microbiology and all of that. So he's already got a good foundation on this already. But if we can turn this into right now a side hustle and then eventually full time, that is our announcement and our goal with that. So I'm really excited with that. If you ever get in a jam with your web business, thank you, Drops. I'll let you know. That would be awesome. We probably should communicate more anyway. I love communicating with all the people that are in the homesteading community that also do either marketing or web development, just because there's no reason that we can't all become a group of support for not only each other, but all these other channels that aren't that. They aren't creative or in that aspect. Like they have struggle with graphics, so they have struggle with websites and stuff like that. And we could be a resource for them. So we should probably be in contact anyway.
Yeah, industrialized farming is definitely going away. Because I know.
You're welcome, Big Bear.
Like for instance, Monsanto. I know Monsanto is buying up a lot of these biological companies because they know. Like they know they're in the business to sell stuff. I don't think they care what they do, but if they're going to sell something, then this is what consumers want. This is how they're going to go do it.
Yeah.
And I know. Like General Mills, and this I got this from Gabe Brown. General Mills has on their wall, "The future is regenerative agriculture," and this is coming from General Mills, so they're involved in regenerative agriculture, and I think they're even doing it to where the farmers that they're buying their wheat from has to be in a list of practices that they agree to, and that it has to be regenerative agriculture. They can't use sprays and all this.
Yeah. What I like about the movement is, I remember it had been like 10 years ago, maybe not even that. The mindset was industrial agriculture. It has a ceiling. It has a finite amount of land, a finite amount of resources before it's just not going to work or it's going to collapse. And that's when the thought process of GMOs came out. And everybody was like, well, in order to feed the planet without industrial agriculture, we have to have the GMOs and we have to have plant-based meats and things like that. But I honestly think that the answer is this regenerative agriculture. If we change the way that industrial agriculture is going into a regenerative format that is actually replenishing the soil, replenishing the nutrients, and replenishing the land, then I see no reason why that can't be the answer to it rather than GMOs. I'm sure GMOs have their place in certain aspects, but I want to eat a fresh burger. You know, I don't want to deal with the GMO industry if I can help it. So there's that. Good night, Big Bear. Thank you for being here. Down Under, hello from my Australian friend. Are you in Australia right now or did you come to visit? I don't know what the timeline was for that.
To answer,
who are we answering?
Who? Two family. Is that Daryl?
It could be Daryl or Sherry, but it's probably Daryl.
Okay. Well, to answer two families' statement earlier.
Is this about the poop?
Yes.
Let me bring it up on the screen. This one, which is hiding our head.
Yes. So one of the issues that is done with that is a lot of people's problems right now is they don't have the water penetration. Like for the average farm across America, I want to say it was people can only penetrate half an inch of water an hour. And that's the issue, is because once you get to half an inch, the rest is just ponding. or just sitting on top. And if it's even if it's at a slight angle, now you're rushing and going away.
And it's eroding.
So a lot of times when they do the spray, it'll pond, and then it'll just get washed off with the water, especially if they water it. So one of the things about regenerative agriculture is that what they're doing is they're adding organic matter, and in a way that it's not overloading. So it's just a little at a time, but that organic matter. That's the other thing. Is the reason that you're only doing like half an inch of rain an hour is your organic matter is usually around 1.5 to 1.7%, and farms need to be up in the 7s and 8%, and that's what's been taken away because it's just monocropping.
And the number one erosion of soil comes from rainwater.
Yep, and it was rainwater because if your soil is bare, if you have any bare soil, you're losing it. Yeah.
Homesteading. Let me scroll up here. Homestead Guy 1976. So y'all working on the soil consulting website? Yes, I literally put that video together about 30 minutes before we came inside, and then I was like, well, maybe I should have a landing page. So I threw together some quick. I did it in Notepad, threw together some quick code just to have a landing page for the website. But yes, I will be putting together a website for Donald's business and having all the details of all the fun stuff regarding the soil consulting business. We'll start local. We will have some virtual sessions available while Donald's going through this course as well. So yes, that's the long answer to your very short question, which I apologize for.
So Skinner Farms is, I was always told 1 inch of water a week. That's because our soils can't retain the water.
Yeah.
If your soils have the proper organic levels for organic matter, you won't need to water, because even if you have like 16 inches of rain a year, if your soils have the proper organic levels to hold water throughout the year, that's all you need to do.
Drop says wood chips, and cardboard.
And that's another thing I've actually been learning.
Yes. And hay.
That does help, but it also that kind of puts a soil out of balance with it, to this too much wood chips.
Yeah, you have to have a balance.
Specifically wood chips. So, and that's just because they have a higher carbon to nitrogen ratio. You can replace wood chips with hay, for instance, because hay is a grass, so it's going to have less carbon to nitrogen ratio, even if it's dried. But again, I mean, I use wood chips. It depends on what you're really growing.
Yeah.
If you're growing an orchard, I would use wood chips. If
you're growing brassicas and stuff, you want less wood chips, because brassicas don't do well in a woody environment, because it's the whole fungal environment versus bacteria environment, and whichever one you're developing. And they don't like a bacteria environment. They like a fungal environment, right?
For what?
Brassicas.
Brassicas.
Or did I get the opposite?
Opposite. They like a bacteria-dominated environment over fungal.
There you go.
Yes, but yeah, I mean, it's still, it's just, wood chips are a really good source for getting organic matter in. It just depends on where you're.
Do you see down under?
What did it say?
He said, have you seen worm composting septic treatments over there?
We have not.
Excuse me.
I want to say mainly because the municipalities around here are all about the lowest bidder.
Yeah.
So the lowest bidders are going to always do whatever is quickly, cheaply available.
Skinner Farms asked if you ever look at Instagram DMs. He doesn't. I do.
She does.
But he has it on his phone, so he could, if you remind him.
Now, I think the last one that you sent me, I did respond to.
But definitely send again, because I'll let him know, because I'm checking it every day.
I think. Yeah.
He's checking just to make sure. Natural and C says, I'm switching back to hay this year because my wood chips garden was so freaking weedy this past season. Yeah, we're switching to more hay because I love to be barefoot. All summer long, I will be barefoot constantly. And now that I'm not even, I'm working from home, I don't even know if I'll have shoes on all summer. So it's easier for my feet to walk on hay than it is wood chips. So I'm with you there.
Yeah. I'm switching to hay which is garden soil. So it's if there's too much wood chips, like if it's too thick, you're creating an anaerobic environment. That's what I was saying earlier. Weeds like an anaerobic environment. So that could be an issue. So you might just be able to lower.
𝙒𝙖𝙔𝙎.
Oh heck yeah! Lower the amount of them, and you should be fine.
Jason Avers is a good source for soil. So do you know that name? Jason Avers.
Jason Avers. No, I'm gonna look it up now.
He's gonna look it up now. He's the soil guy. I'm more into the herbs and the marketing stuff. So
I'm
Fermented Hempstead. Hello. Yes, we did a trailer announcement about a new business that we're starting up on soil consulting. I could play it again. Donna wants me to play it constantly, but I still want to catch everybody's questions too. SD Mountain Man, hello, welcome. If it ain't snowing, I'm wearing flip-flops. I am with you there, except I'll probably be barefoot.
Is it Jason Avers, Avers?
Let me scroll up because I don't remember. Avers, yes.
So I'm guessing it's Green Country Agroforestry.
Down under says they are a home type setup with the worms. Take the waste products and worm juice. Interesting.
I haven't seen it.
Now I will say there's this thing over here. I remember seeing it years and years and years ago. I think I was still working in Frederick at the time, so at least 10 years ago. Earth ships. You guys have seen these probably, especially if you're in the homesteading community, where they actually have built-in septic filtration systems that involve plants in these earth ships. And I would love to have something like that, but modern conventional homes are just not built that way. So I don't know. Compost toilets is the same thing, really, I guess. Although I guess it's really not. I don't know what plants they're using to filter out that stuff, but I hope they're pretty powerful.
What is Grazon?
Grazon. Oh yeah, I did see that question.
Let me look it up.
Let me scroll up.
Oh, that's the herbicide.
Do we have Grazon issue up there? No. It's not familiar to me. I know we have a big glyphosate issue. Glyphosate. I'll learn to say it one of these days. They're now learning or doing these studies now to show that glyphosate is actually the precursor cause to a lot of the medical conditions that we are now experiencing, such as Alzheimer's and cancers and all of that fun stuff. And it's in everything and everywhere. Not just food. And it's because the people just spray it everywhere. Roundup. But that's just a study that we've been...
Yeah, Roundup is the number one that has it in there, but
yeah,
because now it's open source, a lot of places, a lot of companies will use it.
Yeah. Christian Love says, certain things we call weeds are edible, so not all are bad, and there are signals to our soils needs to right. Yes. Like dandelions. The dandelion roots are so big and long that they are providing a source or a job function. If you have a lot of dandelions in your lawn, it's because your lawn needs it. Either it's like too compacted and the dandelions are kind of aerating and getting that taproot down there. And then once it's done doing its job, you'll have less dandelions. That's why it always varies. But dandelion, like I actually want to plant dandelions this year because I want to harvest them for medicine, because dandelion is like a powerhouse that I did not realize was as big as it was until I started taking this herbal course. I mean, I'm trying to think, ounce. 1 ounce of dandelion greens has over 24,000 units of vitamin A in it by itself. And the roots are good for liver cleansing. And there's just so much about dandelions that I didn't realize was as medicinal as it was. So I kind of just want all the dandelions now. And dandelion jelly.
And that's another thing with
Simply Jam
weeds. One of the things you can see if what your soil is missing is by looking at the weeds and looking them up to see what they do. Like for instance, dandelions is a perfect example. If you have dandelions, that probably means you have a compacted soil, and they're there to break up the soil. I forgot who I learned that from. I think I learned that from Elaine Ingram.
I think it was Elaine Ingram, yeah.
But yeah, that's what she was talking about, was if you watch, because Mother Nature does not like bare soil. So if she sees bare soil or very poor soil or whatever, like the other thing, buttercups. Buttercups, I didn't know this is a poisonous plant, but it likes poor soil. So if you have a field of buttercups, it's because that soil is poor. And that's one of the only things that it can grow. So it's there to try and change it back to a better soil.
Mother Nature does not like bare soil. So if you give her bare soil, she's going to find something to plop in there. And if it's crappy soil, it doesn't matter. Whatever she can get to grow in there, she's going to put in there. So
yeah, I went on a tangent, so I forgot my original point.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Boom. Yeah, so she's going to try to cover that up because she wants that soil to be able to retain the water. It's going to have cover, or what people are calling armor. It's going to have armor on the soil. Armor. And that's going to help reduce or maintain the temperature, not reduce temperature. Maintain the temperature at a correct or a better temperature. That's going to keep soil from being compacted from rain and multiple things.
Yeah. And Down Under has a good point. Free choice minerals for animals is another great way to check what is missing. The animals will eat what is missing and spread it back out for you. And it's just good medical sense. Skinner says they use Dawn dish soap, Epsom salt, and white vinegar to spray fence lines under electric fences. The vinegar, no issue. Epsom salt, no issues. I don't know about the Dawn. I don't think that's an issue. I mean, they do use that for oil spills a lot, so I feel like it's probably more of a gentle soap. And that's one soap that people have sprayed on their plants before for weed control. We don't use it, but I can't imagine that it does an issue. The Epsom salt, I mean, you're just basically adding magnesium to the soil. So, I mean.
Put up a Fishes and Loaves Life.
About the Roundup?
Yes.
That one.
So Roundup, the shelf on the short life, it's a half-life. So what that is 140 days, and for the toxicity level to go down by half. But your plants can still uptake the Roundup for up to 2 years. So it's one of those. It
has a short life, but
yeah, but it's a short half-life.
Yeah.
And that's what 140 days. What is that?
140 days.
3 months. 3.5 months.
You're asking me to math at 10:37
so 3
at night?
months. 30, 60, 90. No, 6 months. Right?
I can't math at 10:30. I don't even want to try.
4 months.
I want to go eat the ice cream I made last night.
So 4 months for it to lose half its toxicity level, and that also depends on how much you're applying. But then it's for 2 years, your plants can still get it.
Yeah. So there you go. Down Under says that soap reduces the tension of any mixture, so it helps cling to what you spray to. And that makes perfect sense because I remember that from chemistry class in high school, doing all the different surface tensions and thicknesses and weights of things.
Thank you, Down Under.
See, what would we do without you, Darren? I'm terribly at math off the hip. Yeah, I'm not. He's better at math because he has to do it at work all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I was good at math in high school, but now I'm like, I just don't want to brain about that. I want to brain about other things. So.
Yeah. Greg Judy. Greg Judy has great videos.
Yeah, Greg Judy really loves his cows. I love how he talks about his cows, and he's honestly he's got one of those voices that's kind of calming. I don't know what it is.
I think it's just the old professor, I guess, or maybe it's the old country.
Old
countryman.
Yeah, but your facts aren't useless, Down Under. They're not useless facts. They're good facts. Should we start to end things now? We're starting to die down.
No.
No. We got 3 downvotes. Only 30 upvotes.
What?
Contest who can get us to a whole bunch more uploads. I don't know, or upvotes. I don't know what we would give you, but my undying devotion.
Down Under.
Math at work. So what does the average weight of a
I can tell you how much flow we do a day.
how many million gallons do you do a day?
We do on average 7 million gallons a day
Of poop from Frederick, Maryland.
Well, of just wastewater.
City. Oh,
most of it's water.
Now, they used to find all kinds of weird stuff flushed into the public sewer system. What were the top three?
So the top three things: condoms, tampons, and baby wipes. Those are the top three things that comes through a wastewater plant.
And it costs the nation billions of dollars
With
a
a B.
year. Billions to process and eliminate those things because people simply will not stop flushing them. So we could technically save our country and our infrastructure billions of dollars a year if we would stop flushing tampons and condoms and baby wipes.
Because we're putting them exactly where everyone else should put them. They go into a dumpster that gets taken to the landfill.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we pay $1,700 every time we have to take the dumpster to the landfill.
Yeah.
And we probably do that maybe once every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And that's just us.
That's just one septic plant. And before they transitioned to this new system that they're doing at his job, they had the ability, they would have to like sift through this grit chamber and they would find dollar bills. Donald found $100 in there, and all they do is clean it, sanitize it, dry it.
We have gloves on.
Put it back in circulation.
Wipe it off. We have some great disinfectant spray. We'll disinfect it and let it air dry, and then we'll disinfect it again, let it air dry, and then we'll immediately go down to the next gas station and put it in circulation.
Yeah, so there's circulation. There's money circulated in our system that was in the sewer. So, well, you always hear about that one about cocaine or something. About every dollar bill has cocaine in it or something. That whatever that thing is, that's that.
But down under, ask who flushes that? It's going to clog your pipes. A lot of times, though, it's the marketing people for those products. Like, for instance, baby wipes. I think the majority of baby wipes actually say flushable on them now.
And they're not flushable.
And they're not flushable.
And even the flushable wipes that you buy for adults, like, I'm trying to think of a brand, Cottonelle, has flushable wipes. They're not flushable. You're not supposed to flush them. They say flushable. Maybe one or two won't hurt anything, but you've got 300 million people in the country, one or two each a week. I mean, it's still a ton. But if Donald falls in, now he dropped his wallet down a sewer once.
Yeah,
and we didn't get that. We left it there. It's somewhere in a sewer somewhere.
Our headworks are where the water comes into the plant at the beginning. It comes into a giant wet well or a well.
This dad joke right here.
Which one?
Daniel said, so if we need someone who knows how to launder money,
right?
Call a wastewater guy.
But the well goes through some what's called bar screens, and it's just like little bitty bars, literally bars with a 3/8 of an inch space in between each one, and that's where we collect all the trash.
Right.
It fell in that, but past it, so it was in the wastewater. I was like, yeah, I'm not getting that.
No, that can stay there.
Yeah, sewers are definitely a time capsule. We find all kinds of stuff. Little baby toys will come up, and we're like, we'll make up scenarios, like how many of these were actually from a kid that just threw it in there or ran from a parent or whatever and threw it in the toilet and flushed it.
Right.
Or how many of these were someone else's kids, like this is my brother's that I didn't want him to have.
Right. So, see if we can get a couple more thumbs up. I don't know how many we got now.
31.
Still, that's pretty good.
It's pretty good. I like it.
We really appreciate you guys hanging out with us tonight. We probably should start to end things.
Did you want to do the video one more time? If it's getting annoying, let me know.
Did you guys want to see the video one more time? And then that'll kind of be our segue out of the live. We could do that. Donna really loves this video. Is Fermented Hempstead still here? Because she hasn't seen it, and I love her to death. If you're still here, let me know. We'll go ahead and play it. And then we'll segue that out into ending the live for tonight. Really appreciate, I mean, really good question. You guys had some great questions tonight. Oh, she is perfect. All right. So yeah, hit that thumbs up. We're going to go ahead and do the marketing video one more time to end things. We really appreciate you guys hanging out with us tonight.
Definitely.
And, you know, we're going to do that 10,000 follower giveaway soon. It's going to be fairly big and it's going to be a game. So it's going to be during the live here soon. As soon as I can get Donald to sit down and finish it.
I'll finish it.
We'll announce that, but later, Rob. Oh, so Down Under hasn't seen it either. Awesome. All right, guys. We will see you guys next week. Here is the marketing video, and you guys take care.
Woohoo!